how important's the business plan in this whole process?
I think it's super important. These applications come with a business plan. There are, as you know, a couple outstanding companies that are based right here in Miami Beach. So
Yeah.
we have it's been one of the great things about ending up in Miami Beach is, you're here. I think you do a phenomenal job.
Appreciate that.
Really, it's a great company for those of you who don't know Visa franchise. There are a couple excellent companies, and that you have to have with the E2 Visa application. They almost always require it, but some sort of a business plan. It doesn't have to be, because a lot of us don't like the words business plan. I need to think. No, but it's not like that. These companies find out what you want to do, and usually it's short. It's like maybe 20 pages, but it's right on target. Here's what the E2 applicant is going to do. Here's the 5-year projections. Here's what they've spent. And if you have a good one that's easy to read, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because in your experience, the Canadian E2 Visa investor, how long is the interview? Like, they don't have much time to kind of prove their case of why they should get an E2 visa.
No, I think that the consular official has more or less made up their mind by the time you walk in for your interview.
Sure.
So if you have a good team, good lawyer, you got a franchise or a vetted business, you got Patrick's company helping you, you have a solid business plan, and you have told your story well, so that when a consular official starts reading about all this, they get it. Oh, he's doing this. He's invested that. Looks like a good guy. This looks solid. Looks like he's going to come in the United States and do this, and this is going to benefit everyone. Oh, he's hired somebody. It should be over at that point. Everything else is just, filling the documentation to back it up, and he's already made up his decision. I think they decide relatively quickly. And so by the time you walk into the interview, usually you should expect some questions about your business. You obviously have to know what you put in the application, what you're saying in your business plan, but it shouldn't be a problem to answer questions about your business. So does that answer your question? I think these embassy interviews, people have to be ready, be confident and all that. I think I always talk to my clients about their demeanor, look the person in the eye, be friendly, know what you're talking about, be prepared, because preparation can lead directly to confidence.
How does one prepare for this?
I would say they need to read through what's been presented to the person they're going to be speaking with. Be ready to talk about it, and have the most important documents with them and accessible. Because you know how it is when someone asks you for something, you've got it with you, but you don't know exactly where it is in your in your briefcase or your file folder, and you're fumbling around. They can make you nervous. You need to have it, boom, ready to pull stuff out if asked.
We've had that with a client where he brought the franchise disclosure document, which can be like 200 plus pages. And he invested kind of not so much capital, 70K, including the car, and had another 30K of working capital. And they're like, how are you going to make money? Like, if this is such a good investment, why aren't more people doing it? Is what he said. Point. And he said, hey, here's the item 20. There are a lot of people doing this. There are hundreds of franchisees. And then he went one item before that, a few pages behind, item 19. And this is their average sales. This is a federally regulated document by the FTC. And this has been reported on by hundreds of franchisees, 300 plus franchisees. This is how many there are, and this is how much money they make. So for the consulate officer, it was more credible than someone saying, I'm just going to start this property management business just with this amount of money, and by year 5, I should make 800K at a 30% or 35% profit margin.
That's a good point. That's a great story. And he invested about 70,000.
70,000, yeah. Franchise fee, rent deposit, vehicle, and I think he spent some money on Google Ads, and then another 30K as working capital not spent.
The great thing there was there was a franchise involved.
It was a franchise, exactly.
Now, we haven't talked too much about that, but in my experience, if it is a franchise investment, I think your chances are greater of being approved, because a lot of things are sort of done for you. With a startup business, you can make a mistake in many places along the way. With this franchise, especially if the franchise has a track record, it really, I think, answers a lot of questions. But let's say it was a startup and they only have 70,000 invested. Well, for me, that means, okay, I think we have a weakness there. So we have to be prepared and look at really carefully at what's been spent and what it's been spent on. Where is the consular official maybe likely to chip away? If they can chip off 20,000, they say, no, this doesn't count. Now you're down to 50.
Yeah, that's too low.
So you need to be ready to answer. If you have a weakness, you need to be ready for those questions, I think, very ready. Also be open to the fact that they may never ask about it. They may ask about something completely different. So you need to really be comfortable with the investment you made and what you're doing. And I think believe in it, because it'll show.